real. Said 1, 2, 1, 2. Yo, yo, we can't see that out on the road, walking it on the microphone. So check me out. Storming the gates of hell, we will attack until the walls come down and rush the city with the weapons of warfare. We got the DOT posse in effect to inject your intellect with the SWAT team tactics. Coming strong and bold, breaking the common mode, doing a new thing, trusting in the flow of the Holy Ghost. So sit back, tune up, as the truth alone is revealed. Yo, Tri-Cities, it's time to get real. It's time to get real.
Some folks say lucky me, I lead out to the charms, car alarms, gunfire heard by my moms. Have to be Elohim in the midst of the game. Made it out the firewood and now we spitting the flames. Will I remain? Yes, sir. Seeing the change, that is south, seeing heat, baby, ripping your frame. Black shoes, black attire, black tool, no face mask, killer make a jack move. Yeah, find a way, go like back food. Dope house like grocery store, sell boy tool. Thinking high, thugs dying them eye. Folk look at their killers, rock them die. I taste them, hey, what was the recipe? Couple inch bullet, hot dogs barking at me, running for my life like any given Sunday. Thank God for your life, we all die one day. Get a victory, it's what I'm telling you, Cap. Don't need to win a spell, I'll be to come through in the lack. Under attack, like America up on the rack. Double got the boys equipped, 4 foes in their backpack. Project living, Jesus needed bad cause we all die chillin'. Blasted up for no simple reason. Thugs separate from God all because of treason. Some cats don't make it out breathing. I did cause I chose to live done. I've been through with it just like you. Almost called two, show that back part 2. The grace of God had me covered in the hood. Unseen bodyguard start the murder when it could. Or put me over like a not-a-cut sweater. Things better, so keep peeping out the letter.
My name is Johnny Johnson, and I'm with the SWAT team. That's Spiritual Warfare and Tactic Team. We're down here in the heart of Seattle with a heart of love, caring for the street kids. Some of the things that you are about to view on this makeshift video, I pray will shock you into reality, will open your eyes to the needs that most of you that will see this film may very well have in your power to meet. Tonight you will be meeting some of the street kids that have run away. Some of them been on the streets since they were 10 years old, living in boarded up tenement homes, living in alleys, most of them not eating, a lot of them drug addicts. Jesus Christ is the answer. The reason we've called ourselves the SWAT team, the Spiritual Warfare and Tactics team, is because we want to be down here freeing the hostages from the grip of Satan's hold. God is teaching us to reach out to them with the language of love. We want to be able to come on in such a way that we can convince them from the moment that we meet that they are loved and that they are cared about. Tonight we'll be giving out free food, free blankets, clothing, prayer, counseling, etc. So come with us now as we meet some of these street kids and they share what it's like to be trapped in the world of drugs, loneliness, and the streets of Seattle.
You know, with the way I look, you know, the way I live, I am faced with 2 choices. You know, when I'm, you know, hit up by certain people. You know, It's like kill or be killed. Hatred is purity and weakness is disease. America just isn't what it used to be. And for you folks back home, be sure to say, goodbye to Ozzie and Harriet. Here comes 1990s.
The reason I'm on the streets is my parents kicked me out because I was a punk, and my family abused me and stuff, and I had a really tough life, and I was out on the streets since I was 9, and I took a lot of drugs, and I don't know, it just was really rough. And things are looking up to me now because I'm getting all well picked up. And so it's just pretty cool, you know, it's really rad. And I just hope someday our future kids can be good parents instead of bad parents and all that. And welcome, this is Skinny Puppy Tape, and this is the music I listen to. And I listen to different kinds of music.
Okay, now, I know this young lady over here. No, well, just be yourself. This is Killian over here. We have the camera. Now, who do we have here? What's your name?
My name's Alice.
Alice? Chuck. I am Johnny Johnson. I'm with the SWAT team.
A lot of kids on the streets that I know are there because they couldn't handle being at home, were sexually abused by their parents, friends of the family, kids in their family, their brothers and sisters, stuff like that.
Is that right?
Incest is not best. Let me just say that
Yeah.
now.
You know that firsthand yourself?
I know that firsthand.
Some of the things that George has shared with me actually shocked me. And to me, that's got some real value. So I've asked George, would he be willing to share with us on this video? You probably wouldn't have been willing 6 months ago, huh?
No, I won't, man.
But you're willing to share with us a little bit now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I come home, my little brothers all like have no diapers, faces all dirty, bodies all dirty. Mom smoking crack, you know, my dad shooting up and so on.
You ran away from home or left home how long ago? How many years ago?
About 6.
About 6 years ago?
Yeah.
So if you're 15 now, then you're, what, about 9.5, 10 years old?
9.5.
9.5 years old.
Yeah.
And so when you first started smoking pot and
Doing
messing around with drugs,
yeah.
and you were still about 10 years old then, or?
I was 10, well, wait, I was about 9.5 when I first started smoking pot, and then I got up to 13, and I started snorting crystal meth, you know. But I never used needles or nothing like that. I never
needles,
smoked crack or nothing, you know. Yeah.
Now, we were talking earlier, and you had mentioned that you've seen little kids that were prostituting and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, what was the youngest age girl that you saw prostituting?
Well, 10.5, about, yeah, 10.5, yeah.
Did you know her, or?
No, well, my sister started when she was 11.
11?
Yeah. She started when she was 11.
One of the biggest fears that are gripping people's life in middle-class suburbia is the gangs that are migrating from L.A., from East L.A. and whatnot. And several gangs have settled here, right here in our home of Seattle, from L.A. The two that are the most popular, publicized anyway, that are in all the major newspapers and on the news are the Bloods and the Crips. Anyway, as I was talking with George here, George shared with me that he passed the initiation to be in the Crips in L.A., is that right?
Yeah.
Now, would you feel free to share the choices you had on that initiation?
Well, the initiation was either that I either go out and shoot someone or get rolled up in a carpet and get beat with by 30 people with broomsticks. And I chose to shoot someone, and I passed the initiation. And it was just like, you know, it felt good having all that power, and it feels good, you know, to have backup and stuff, so kind of liked it, you know.
Now, what are the ages that you've seen What's the youngest crypt you've ever met?
About 12.
12 years old?
Yeah.
And then they go on to what, middle age?
Yeah. And then they go on to, the older ones are around, let's say about 45. They're the ones who support the guns and stuff. We don't have anyone like you guys in LA. We need someone like you guys in LA.
People call me Doomsday. People were ODing, people were getting stabbed. These two guys walk into my view and they stop, hold up their hands like this, and that's when the shooting started. First guy went down like this, yeah. Second guy got his head removed completely from the shoulders.
Deneen, we've known Deneen for about 7 months out here on Broadway. She's one of our very first contacts. Has become a pretty good friend of ours. She's turned us on to a lot of people, and through her, she's helped us win the confidence of many of the young street kids that are out on the streets now. So you actually haven't yourself lived on the streets or squatted?
I can't sleep in squats. I have friends that I could stay with, but I've never squatted or slept outdoors in my life. I couldn't.
Okay, how about you? Have you spent any time living on the streets yourself?
Well, I've lived on and off the streets for about 4 years, and I've been all over the country living on the streets and around. And I don't know, I've done a lot of squatting. I've done a lot of weird stuff.
Since you kind of open your mouth and you're free to share with us, would you mind telling us kind of what made your decision to go to the streets in the first place?
Well, it's kind of a family disagreement. I just didn't get along at my house, and no matter what I did, they wouldn't like it, and they didn't care if I lived on the streets or not, so I just did it.
Okay. You look fairly young to me, so if you were out 4 years ago, about how old were you when you first went out to the street life?
Oh, about 12 or 13.
And one of the things that we're hearing a lot of is the lack of love in the family or desire to get along with the kids. Sometimes the kids are not so hot themselves, but, you know.
I can relate to that one. That one is, yeah. It's no good living on the streets and you usually get hooked on drugs or being a whore or whatever to support yourself.
This is Janine.
What I hated the most was like not taking showers. Oh God, we used to go a couple weeks. You know,
Longest was 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah, without taking any showers at all. You know, never changing your clothes. You know, I got real sick.
And you OD'd?
A couple times. You know, when parents cut their kids down, they may say, I don't care shit, but all those things they say just goes right to the heart. And every time you try and do something, all you can think about is, they said this. And every time you mess up, you think, well, look, they said it, so it must be, and I'm just a failure. We're hungry and we're cold, but there's so much more than that. Yeah, I mean, like, there's the whole prostitution scene, which a lot of people on the street get into. A lot of
men and women.
Survive. Oh yeah, and I swore up and down I'd never get into it, but I did really heavily, and that was probably the worst part of being on the street. You get really
Addicted to the money.
You get really addicted to it. There's a point where you can't get away from it. And
She looks nice.
I used to go out every night by myself on the track and work, and I got robbed and I got beat up.
Is the track out at SeaTac or?
I've worked SeaTac, I've worked Aurora, Chinatown, Pike, downtown.
What's the most money you ever made in one night?
$500.
$500. Wow.
I'd only work a couple hours a night though. You get to the point where you don't even think of it, it's a job. So I was on Aurora, and I had about $250 on me, and I decided, okay, I'm gonna do one more tonight, and then I'm gonna go back, to the hotel where I was staying at. And I got in this guy's car, and he said, okay, it's your turn to give me some money. And I had a knife on me, but I was so scared, I didn't even think to use it. And he started strangling me. And he was like, you're gonna give me your money, you're gonna give me your money. And finally I was like, I'm handing it over, like, take it, And so finally I gave him all my money, and he beat me up really bad. And then he made me have sex with him anyways for free. And he did some really awful things to me.
Anyway, this is Sky. And this is what's baby's name?
Cylindria.
Cylindria. That's the baby, and this is Cylindria's mother, Sky.
The hardest time was when I was pregnant. We had no place to live. I was, 8 months pregnant, sleeping in squats and shit. I think that would be the hardest part because I was hungry and, I was really afraid that, she wouldn't come through. Yeah, the streets are not the best choice for anybody because I went from a very, very wealthy family to, extreme poverty, And I would, I personally would choose this life over what I had.
On Broadway, they get along like...
We're all a big family.
We're just a family, that's
one
it.
big family, basically.
The kids love each other.
We have to stick together when we're out here, We can't be fighting each other and, doing all that, being mean to each other because we have to stick together because we're all in the same boat, and we're all going up creek together,
There's a lot of times when they'll have like 30 people in a squat sleeping in one bed, keeping each other warm.
I remember times looking outside my window and seeing people getting their heads blown off over, a $10 piece of coke. And it's not worth it.
I got something to say to all you little kids out there that run away from home and whatever. You should go back home because just because your daddy didn't buy you a brand new car or something, doesn't mean he doesn't love you. When I was growing up, my dad would drink all the time and come home and kick my ass and whatever. But that was pretty bad. So I really didn't have the choice of staying home. And they didn't want me, and I didn't want to be there. But I'm sure that you're still young and your parents still love you. They gave birth to you and whatever. But and it's a lot better living at home with your parents, than living down in the gutter or something. You'd rather have a pillow under your head than a sidewalk. And sleeping in abandoned houses, getting bit by rats ain't fun either, because I've done that too,
I know most of the people out here, they got beat up when they were kids and stuff like that. And they got abused.
By who? You see it
by
every
their
day.
folks. And that's why they're out here. That's why they're on the street right now.
I mean, when you don't have a home,
people
you
with
can
a
feel
comfortable
safe
home,
and you go looking for your own.
People with a comfortable home don't end up on the
stay
streets.
there. My stepdad used to beat me up. He molested 2 of my cousins. My stepmom just plain didn't want me. My grandparents didn't want me. I had no choice.
Your dad
I know. My dad was saying he didn't know who I was. My mom said she never wanted to see me again. I mean, what kind of a life is that? I can make a better life than that out here, even if I'm just scrounging.
I OD'd on rock. About $200 worth of rock I smoked up in one night. Passed out for about 8 hours in the hospital, popped my stomach and all that. So that you had a heart attack? Was that basically what happened? Your heart stopped?
Yeah, my heart stopped and I had to use those electric rods to re-jump start my heart.
Wow.
And so I was lucky, I guess. God said second chance. When I was 8, I was kicked out of my place of residence.
Where was that, Tim?
With my mom.
Was that in Seattle?
It was in Seattle. I went out to California to live with my real dad.
Uh-huh.
I stayed out there for 3 years. When I was 11, I couldn't handle it anymore with the alcohol and all the drugs and shit. So I just...
Where's your life going now, man? That's kind of a...
Down the drains.
Down the drains.
I'm getting ready to lose my apartment.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna be back out on the streets again. Kicked out of all the youth service centers.
Okay.
I don't know what to do next.
How long have you been out on the streets?
4.5 years. Since I was 9.5.
Since you were 9.5. You made your decision at that young age to come out on the streets.
Just that our parents used to beat me and my brother up all the time.
So abuse is what put you out here then?
Yeah.
And you find, would you rather live in the streets or at home right now?
Rather than at home with my parents, I'd rather live on the streets, actually. it doesn't seem right in my eyes for a parent to do something like that to the kid. If they're going to do something like that, they shouldn't have kids in the first place.
It's too dangerous. People pick you up and try to rape you. Like, I almost got raped Saturday night last weekend. No, it wasn't. Yeah, it was about that weekend. And it wasn't really fun.
How old are you?
14.
14?
No, 15.
You're 15 now. So that was pretty frightening for you.
Yeah, it was, because it was like, I don't know, I just don't want no young kid come out here about 10, 9 years old that she might get raped or even killed. It's pretty rough out here.
I've been shot twice and stabbed about 5 different times.
Where were you shot?
Once in my arm and once in my side. In a gang fight, I watched like 3 or 4 different friends be shot or stabbed to death, or just beaten to death with baseball bats or whatnot.
Yeah, the dude slashed me 3 times, and then he slashed my ass, and I got 21 stitches, and we had to go to the hospital.
One of the rawest things I saw was my best friend shot square in the middle of the head.
The thing downtown is survive or die.
I saw, like, one of my friends, he was black. I saw him get, like, picked up by a bunch of, like, big white guys and thrown through a plate glass window, and it cut him into ribbons. And
he proclaims to be a big Nazi, and he's affiliated with the Aryans, but he's in jail now for stabbing a black man with another skin who came from out of town somewhere 7 times to the bone, and he's paying for it now.
I've been stabbed like 5 times. I got shot in the leg once. And I've been, had guns pulled on me and stuff. It ain't fun. It scares the...
I'll show you, I got shot. I was in the hospital for 2 months. I got shot with a Magnum.
They sent me to the VA hospital, and from there I went out in the streets. You know what I learned? I learned how to fight. I bled a lot. Scarred, pretty bad. Scarred, look at that. Scarred, pretty bad. My little brother there, he thinks he's been through it. I never been caught. I've wasted 2 people in my life. I hated it. I'm still regretting it. They deserved it, but I didn't need to kill them.
I've been stabbed in the back once, I've been stabbed in the thigh once, I've been stabbed in the hand right here just the other day, and I've been stabbed over here once.
You ain't living a pretty picture, man. I mean, it's a high every day,
man, if there's a kid that's on the other side of this viewing it, get it together now. All right? Unless you want to end up in the joint with someone trying to put a knife, man, get it together now. Please. I'm in. Hey!
You went to fight him, and every time he turns there it goes.
In the Bible, where if you don't
Have you been raped? Have you been raped? Tell me, man, 'cause I have. And now it's sexism. No, it's not. Thank God. It's sexism. You know,
the sorrow in their eyes. Broken hearts, shattered dreams, all across America. By the tens of thousands, losing their lives. As the family crumbles, rebellion starts to rumble all across the land. They trade a rusty steeple for a dirty needle. Seems their only plan. And all of their friends tell them if they want to cope, they gotta live on dope. But they can't turn the tide. Next step, suicide. They cry, where is the hope? Got to reach the youth of America. Can't we see the sorrow in their eyes? Broken hearts, shattered dreams, all across America. By the tens of thousands, losing their lives. Rock and roll TV, the only church they see, preaching only lies. And their daddy won't come home, mom's busy on the phone while the baby cries. And our children all grow up, hold an empty cup. What are they living for? When they're 21 at 10, and like adults they sin. For them, what is in store? Gotta reach the youth of America. Can't we see the sorrow in their eyes? Broken hearts, shattered dreams, all across America. By the tens of thousands, losing their lives. Jesus is the answer for the spiritual cancer in our troubled youth. Is there anyone at all who will answer the call? Take to them the truth. It is now the 11th hour, time for Holy Ghost power. Christians must awake. Oh yes, you are the soldier. Rise up and be bolder. Oh, for Jesus' sake. Oh, for Jesus' sake.
Get real. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yo, microphone, so check me out. Storming the gates of hell, we will attack until the walls come down and rush.
I love you.